I think you're going to see a lot more books either shifting back to, black and white paperbacks, which personally, as kind of a grognard, I'm not opposed to. I owned hundreds of, Palladium books with, pure black and white, and I own a crap load of Art Halsorian, which are, you could look at and go, yeah, that was done on a home word processor and probably printed at Kinko's. But by the same token, you look at our Talsorian, and look at what they're doing with the Witcher RPG, and that might actually be a brilliant move that you might see some more of these companies doing, which is, they partnered with CD Projekt Red to do the Cyberpunk 2077 video game, but also CD Projekt Red is helping. I don't know the specifics, but having that leverage of going back and forth and having that video game, to support the role playing games, whether it's Witcher or Cyberpunk, and I think you're going to see a lot more licensed media.
So that's what I was kind of going to say too, is like, do you think maybe we might move in the direction where you have like, not PDF necessarily, but internet documents where
Sure.
you can, audiobooks is totally a thing. So you get the internet media, like you buy the IP
Right.
on your phone. Now you can
Yeah.
maybe find like a license situation where you can share to your...
That I unfortunately see that as a model that will continue and grow.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate product as a service where I can buy this book, but it only exists within Roll20 so long as I maintain a premium subscription. And
But when you have a president who's making a war on print,
sure,
not in
right, but like
principle, but in practice. So, so the only viable media that is affordable now is digital media.
Yeah, and I mean, we could see
Like,
radical
personally.
changes in the industry overall. I mean, even
Sure.
when you look at pricing, skyrocketing, shipping skyrocketing. That was largely the thing back in the day. Was shipping was getting out of control,
Which again,
and then
media.
you end up, and then development costs were huge. So you have Wolfgang Bauer basically with Kobold Press. He effectively invented the Kickstarter platform for social crowdfunding for role-playing games, and then utilized what more or less Monty Cook with Malhavoc and One Bookshelf, or Lightning Press, and then One Bookshelf, basically single-handedly invented the market, not the concept, but the market of PDF role-playing books.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, like the last time I played a role-playing game was a Pathfinder game that I didn't own a physical copy of Pathfinder. I got the PDF offline.
Right.
And
so, I mean, or as the desperation makes whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something mother of invention.
Mother of invention. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I imagine
necessity.
Necessity is the mother of invention. Yeah. I mean,
but I look at that. That was what, early to mid 90s. I want to say. I don't know. My brain is mush. It's like 3:00 in the morning.
yeah.
Dumb question.
Dumb answer.
Has anybody looked at the idea of the fact that perhaps we go to a digital media,
That's exactly what I was just...
but for a different reason? Paper is a fucking waste.
I mean...
It's a waste product. I mean, we can recycle it, but recycling's $1 billion a year industry in one fucking state alone because we produce so much goddamn paper. I like my doctor's office. They have all the ability to make all these changes to where I get notifications on my phone, but I still get fucking letters in the mail. Hey, you have an appointment on so and so. Why am I getting a letter? It's a waste. I think, and again, grognard here too. I have a bookshelf full of books too.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of getting to the point now where I'm sick of that model.
Sure.
I'd prefer to have something that I could just grab and go. Now, the idea, what you're talking about, I have to maintain, but premium prescription, no, but buy a PDF and download it and have the book versus having to worry about buying a printed copy.
Absolutely.
Fuck around and find it. It's 4 more trees we chopped down to turn into another book. Maybe it's recycle print. Who knows? But the point is I think it might be a good idea too to kind of get away from traditional printing for those kind of reasons as well.
Also, yeah.
I mean, why not?
I thoroughly appreciate, that aspect of recycling and, and environmental awareness and whatnot. I think largely.
If you're not facing like production and distribution costs, your digital copies probably should be a little bit less.
Oh God, yes. But getting gouged sucks. I understand where that comes from exactly.
Right.
I would pay extra for a physical copy of a book.
Oh yeah.
Because I love having, I've done ebooks, I've done whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I still prefer to have a physical chunk of wood in my hand.
Sure. But by the same token, when you're looking at, a gaming book or a video game or something video games, currently have, so much DLC and all of this because, that game is going to be $60.
Sure.
Regardless of what it costs to produce that game.
Yeah.
If it's more than that, people won't buy it. A core rule book is going to cost $50 to $60.
Yeah. But if I want the physical paper copy,
right.
I'll pay an extra $5-10.
But
if I really want that,
thing is that people won't. That's the reality. Is that they won't pay more than that. It doesn't matter if your page count is 286 pages or 464 pages. That is a $60 book. No one is paying more. It doesn't matter if it's full color artwork, high gloss premium paper, or if it's, black and white on cheap, So
you charge the digital copy at $50 and the print copy at $60.
And that's generally what you're seeing is, for the most part, your digital copies are slightly less than your print copies, but they're not significantly less because the sales are not, depending on what you're talking about. If you're talking about a module or a little source book, sure, your digital sales are probably going to surpass easily your print sales. On larger volumes, they're not going to. Plus, to some extent, you do have to factor in, okay, for every one of those I sell, there's going to be, 100 of them on the net. And a lot of people look at that and say, look, the guy who pirates that book was never going to buy it anyway, so I didn't lose anything. And then there's, the other way to look at it that says, but I still lost something.
And that gets into the whole DRM fucking argument too, which is
and you end up it's like,
it's almost like
when you
very simple and not at all
when you hear that these guys who write these books are making on the top end 3 cents a word. That's high end,
Yeah.
That's.
We could just
Like, subscribe, check out the next episode.
boom.